What's up, Lucky Gamers? It's Lucky Lux, and today we're going to be talking about the poll that I put out earlier if PvP should be manual and or real time, right? Had a lot of interesting thoughts, like when people like stream, they always like ask this question or say these thoughts, and I kind of always tell them like my opinion. And I just want to talk about that and see, because like a lot of people think PvP should be another way, and I'm just telling you guys like it's gonna be it's not going to be the way you think it's going to be. But anyways, like the video if you enjoy the content. Comment down below what you guys think. Now that I put it here in a video form, you get to see my like input. And then subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and hit the bell notification. That way you know when I upload. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Alright, so we all know that PvP is auto right now. A lot of people feel that PvP is unfair because it's auto. They feel like it's just impossible to do anything. A lot of people feel that like with it being auto, like the AI is just too dumb, or it just doesn't do what you need it to do, and there's just no point to it, right? And so a lot of people feel like if they have it on manual, that PvP would be much better and they could use better units. And yes, that is true. You would be able to use different units. But let me also tell you how PvP will be worse, right? It like you have to think like and let me show you. Actually, you have to think about the units here who, if you had manual PvP, it would be all about you getting your skills first, right? And getting your skills consistently. So Shun would be top tier in manual PvP because she gives you extra skill cost. So it would be even more so now than in auto, where if you don't have Shun, then you lose. There's nothing you can do to fight that for manual PvP. Hifumi would be top tier because she gives you extra cost recovery because of that. Hell, Cherno would be somebody that people would use because she gives extra cost recovery. And then for DPS units, who are you looking at now? Anybody who has, honestly, cheap EX skills. The cheapest EX skills would be the strongest. Mumawee has an AoE EX skill. She could obliterate the whole backline before you even have a chance to attack. If it was manual PvP, like you have Harna EX5, she would obliterate your tank. Hell, like if you wanted to, you could still go with Iori. A unit that some people sleep on that has a low one is Neru. Neru could completely obliterate a DPS with where she's at before, like literally in the first 2 or 3 seconds, because her EX skill costs 2. Same thing as Akane. Akane has an ability that is pretty strong that costs 2, and people would focus on that, right? Like you would use people who like have a skill cost of like 2 or 3. Anybody who has like a large skill cost, literally nobody's looking at you, honestly, right? Like they would be so like they wouldn't even they'd be honestly in D tier, because like you could win the match in literally a few seconds, right? Like special wise, like you could just use anybody who has like a cheap special, right? So that's where like if manual PvP was a thing, like honestly too, whales would just be even stronger, because then like they would just have their abilities like, you know, mine, like level 5, like nobody survives this, right? Like cost of 3 doing this much damage with a decent amount of attack, like she already obliterates like Harna and Iori as it is now. So I would just max that skill out, and then there'd be no counter to it. Because now with auto, whenever she goes first, she obliterates them in a few seconds. So there'd be no counter to that. You know? Like, so it'd just be even harder for free-to-play players to have a chance, right? Because you would think, like, if you could do manual, you could fight those other players' teams even better, right? If PvP stayed the same. But PvP would change, right? Because, like, your defense team, if everything was manual, your defense team would be more tanky, because you're like, what's the point of leaving DPSs on my team if like someone's gonna just manually pick them out, right? So then like it would just have to go to a tank stall team of just like having like Tsubaki, Hoshino, Haruka, like Yuka, Emi, like all of them with like most likely like healers and all of that, right? Because on your attacking team, you probably wouldn't have a Tsubaki because like what would be the point? Because you're just attacking, you don't really need a tank, right? Unless you're just waiting for them to retaliate against you. But like, you know, if you did have a Tsubaki, like, and you did manual, like, if you do all your EX skills and they live, then now they have free reign to pretty much attack you as it is now. Now, if it was real-time PvP, it would be utter chaos in this game because now whenever you're attacking, honestly, Shun and Fufumi would still be top tier because you would have to have them, and it would like it would be a whales game because whoever has this maxed out on Hifumi, or whoever has Shun's basic skill maxed out, or even having Cherino, like, you win. You could have Tsubaki, Cherino, Hifumi, and Shun, and somebody like literally Momoi or Iori or whoever, and just win. Because the other person would not be able to get enough skill costs to do anything. Like, anything. That's, like, you would automatically win. Because, like, Shun would give the extra skill cost, you could auto do Momoi's ability, bam, they're all dead. Or you could do Hifumi's ability, level up her EX skill, do an explosion, bam, DPS is dead. Like, that's what would just happen, right? Or you could have, like, EX skill with a special, have, like, Saya out there, or your Hibiki, bam, dead, because you can target them, right? So, and then, like, then, of course, like, your internet connection, whoever, like, has the best, like, you know, network time, then they could put in their abilities, because, like, everything's, you can't, like, slow down PvP, it's going to be running at a certain rate, so then whoever throws their abilities out and places them, like, that's what would happen, unless, like, and it can't be something where we're all taking turns, because that's not how the PvP works, it's not a turn-based game. So, like, real time would, like, real time would pretty much, like, ruin the game even more so than manual, right? And then, like, whales would just win even more so than you think whales win now. When I talk about it on my streams, I tell people that the game in auto, honestly, leaving it up to RNG makes it even more fair for free-to-play players. I promise you, it makes it fair for you guys. Because, like, looking at someone like me who has, like, multiple 5 stars, I have people geared out, I still lose in, like, you know, auto matches. It's not always guaranteed to win just because you have, like, units that are leveled up. I beat people who have better units than me with units that aren't even top tier, right? Because I just change up a little bit of what I do. That's why I made the PvP formation video, because there's certain things that you can change in auto to be for your favor. But if you can control everything, like on real-time PvP and manual, you'll have no chance. Because, like, free-to-play players don't have enough, like, you know, materials and gear and everything like that to be maxing out all these units, and you don't have every unit in the game. So, like, you can't, you know, guarantee, honestly, a victory. You will just literally be strong against people who are around your same tier, which is what it is now for most of you guys in auto PvP. So, like, I know a lot of you guys want something different for PvP, and then a lot of you guys keep telling me, like, you know, well, it all comes down to, you know, you having Shun, Iori, Haruna, and Hibiki. Like, yes, I'll admit, like, Shun is, like, honestly a strong unit to have in PvP, a built-out Tsubaki, but you don't need Haruna, and you don't need Iori. You don't. You honestly don't. Hibiki, you don't need Hibiki. Like, I prove it every time. I prove it every time that this unit right here, like, oddly enough, Jury, is my best special unit. Like, and she gives me victories, like, consistently. Literally prove it on live stream. If you guys want proof, you can watch my live streams. I stream Blue Archive at 8 p.m. pretty much almost every day except for like Monday through Saturday, right? Like I can show you guys proof of this. But anyways, I digress. Like, I'm just telling you, PvP is fine where it's at right now. It's fine. There is nothing they can change about PvP to benefit all the free-to-play players that we have. I promise you guys, you will hate it even more, and it'll just make PvP for someone like me, honestly, even easier, but also less enjoyable, because then, like, now I'm over here battling out with whales, and it's like, who whaled the hardest, right? And I really don't want PvP to come down to it. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the whole, like, auto, manual, and real-time PvP. Like I said, comment down what you guys think about what I'm saying. I know some of you guys will have some arguments, which, hey, I'm ready to discuss this. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.